Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Growth Series with Data. And today I'm going to be talking about how you can build a profitable career as a writer and author online. Yes, you got that. I want you to be able to move away from just being a writer and author to actually building a profitable career as a writer and author. Now, let me tell you this thing about being a writer. I know a lot of persons will tell you you just need to write on your social media page, but do you know that there are people who are willing to pay you for that thing you know how to do? Do you know there are people who are looking to hire you to write for them? Do you also know that as an author, you should be speaking at events? You should be getting people to not just buy your books, but also recruit you to being a specialist or being a consultant for their firm or for their brand. There are a lot of things that you need to do. So while you are an author, I need you to see yourself as an author in business. That's the business of authorship. I also need you to see yourself as a writer in business. So for you to actually build a profitable business online, I'm going to be sharing with you certain things you need to know. The first one is what I call audience building. Guys, there's nothing you can do on the online space if you don't pay attention to audience building. And when I talk about audience building, I don't mean building followers, I mean building quality audience. Now, there are people who have hundreds and thousands of audience or followers, but they don't know how to sell to these people. They can't sell. But there are people who have lesser numbers, but because they've built quality audience, it is easier for them to actually sell. So as much as you can, do not build your audience based on vanity metrics. Very important. Don't build an audience of people who cannot buy from you. Build an audience of people who can buy from you. There are people who have 50,000 followers and they can sell to 5,000 people. But there are people who have 200,000 followers but they cannot even sell to 50 people. So that's very wrong, right? So please pay attention to building your audience the right way. Now, another thing you want to pay attention to is brand positioning. Brand positioning, as much as you can. Don't just build your brand like anybody on the online space. Pay attention to branding yourself the right way. Pay attention to your content, pay attention to your graphics, pay attention to the quality of content and comments you leave. This is important. People would rate you according to the perception your content tells or drives. They're also going to rate you according to the pictures you use, according to the kind of graphics, the quality of graphics you use. This is very important. Brand positioning. Position yourself rightly, position yourself in a way that people would look at you, listen to you, and they would view you and see you like or as an authority that you are. All right. Then number 3 is conversion strategy. Have a conversion strategy for your brand. Have a conversion strategy for your business. How do you move people from just being your audience to actually being buying audience? If you're a writer who wants to build a business online, pay attention to how you can convert people, not just from being audience, but also from being followers to actually being your buying audience. There are various types of audiences. The first time that somebody meets you, they might not buy from you, okay? But as you keep nurturing them, they tend to believe in you and they want to buy from you. Then number 4, product subsidiary. If you're a writer, please have product subsidiaries, okay? Have courses, have ebooks, have printed books, have master classes, right? That's how it should be. And this also helps you. Your ebooks can be cheaper than your printed books. Your printed book can be cheaper than your live programs. Your live programs can be cheaper than your coaching. Your coaching can be cheaper than your consultancy. When you have product subsidiaries, it helps you to provide various options for people who want to work with you. So somebody is coming to you and they say they cannot afford your coaching services. Good, you have books these people can buy. This is very important. Have product subsidiary as a writer who desires to build a profitable business on the online space, or even as an author. Yeah, so and as an author, you can actually have product subsidiaries too. You can even deciding to speak at events. You have various prizes for people or for options that you want to speak on. For instance, if you're going to speak for 30 minutes, you have a price tag for that. You want to speak for 1 hour, the same thing. And also, if you want to speak on a professional topic, it's not going to be the same price as someone who wants to speak on a general topic. So you see, There are various ways you can actually profit as a writer or as an author. The deal is to ensure that you are creating options for people who are meeting you, so that those people will be able to buy from you regardless of your pricing. Okay, now another thing you also want to pay attention to is your structure. This is important. As you're building a business on the online space, it's important that you have structures for your business. Okay, you pay attention to what you're going to offer for free, what you're going to offer paid, and also what is meant for your premium services or your premium offers. Don't just create a business without structure. And when people talk about structure, people think it's about having logo, or it's about having brand, business name, or thereabout. Those are fantastic, those are good, but having a proper structure for you will help you weigh your profit model. For instance, someone who has a proper structure will be able to know what part of your business is bringing you more money, and you begin to focus on that part. But if you don't have a business structure, you don't have a structure for your business, you keep running your business on autopilot, you don't know which of them is bringing you profit, and you're just there. That's very wrong. Okay, so have a structure for your business. Now, another thing you want to pay attention to is your onboarding model. How do you get people to come on board as clients? Okay, how do you turn people from being just your audience to actually being your buying audience, and then also getting them to talk about what you do to other people? This is important. Know your onboarding model. It could be through lead generation, it could be through adverts, running ads, it could be through speaking and asking people to speak at their platforms, it could be through influencer marketing. Know your onboarding model to be easier for you to attract the right kind of people to your business. Then the next thing you want to pay attention to is customer attraction and retention. So when you've gotten people who are going to buy from you, how do you retain those people? How do you get testimonials from them? How do you get reviews from them? If you are able to pay attention to all of these factors, it will help you not just to build a brand or a business, but also to know what works for you. And you know what they keep saying about things that work? You repeat and rinse, you repeat and rinse. So when you get something that works for you, it is easier for you to keep doing that thing and getting better results. Then the next thing you want to pay attention to is your pricing and your closing. How do you price your services? How do you price your offers? This is important. So you don't price your offers like someone who is hungry. There are people who say, because I'm starting out, I want to offer my services for free, not knowing that you are wasting your time doing that thing and getting people to pay you cheap. Now these same people would go out there and pay someone else premium for that same thing when they are ready to pay. A lot of writers, I would say, I'm just starting out so I can price anyhow, or this is my first book so I can price anyhow. No, that is ridiculous. The fact that you're starting out does not mean that you should price your offers anyhow. Understand the principles of pricing. Know that each product has its pricing model, right? The way you price an ebook is not the way you price a printed book, is not the way you price a workshop, it's not the way you price a coaching or a consultancy offer. It is important you understand the aspect of pricing, that there are various aspects or there are various factors to consider when you want to write or price your book. For instance, talk about the technical cost. What does it cost you to produce that book technically? Talk about your editing, the printing, the publishing, the formatting, right? These are technical costs. Talk about the value cost. The fact that you're able to pour out information or experiences in a book, it means that that thing is valuable. So talk about the value cost. Don't just put out your book, we're pricing your book at 500 or 1,000 and thinking that people will really buy the book because it's cheap. No, people buy books that they want. So you need to be sure that putting out a book or your offers as something that people want to buy. If you do it that way, you're good to go, right? So pricing is important. The same thing goes for closing. When you want to close your deals with people, it's either you understand if you're closing via calls, or you're closing via webinars, or you're closing, via messages. Know which of these factors will work well for you. If you're closing via calls, know how to talk when it has to do with calls, right? You're having discovery calls, you're having sales calls. Know how to lead that conversation. You're doing it via messages, the same thing. you're having physical interaction, the same thing. Understand the principles of pricing and closing. This is important and it will help you to build a profitable writing career. I hope you got value from this and I can't wait to see you at the next episode of this series. Catch you. Did you get value from today's series? Then I'm inviting you to grab the Starters Profit Toolkit, which contains books and courses that would help you start your journey on the online space. And you can also join my special list on WhatsApp where I send my business love letters and all the amazing information to your inbox directly. So send a message now to 0902294347. That's via WhatsApp. 09022943147. I'll see you on the other end. See you next week.